Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon podcast. I'm your host, Perry, and I am actually, I feel like I'm with you. You're not with me.
We're with each other.
We're with each other. Eric's here,
It's
too.
me!
We had some complications in getting ourselves together for this week's episode, and so we had to readjust our expectations and schedule, and I'm in Eric's basement.
And you're
maybe
never
forever.
leaving.
Yeah, there we go. We were both on the same page with that joke. It's not a joke.
No.
Okay. Well, that's great. How are you, buddy?
I'm good now.
Yeah, now that we've kind of settled
I
into
needed
everything.
this. I needed this so bad. It's been a long week.
I've felt bad for you, man. But
Well.
I'm happy that things have leveled out enough to where we can sit down together. I worked this morning.
You have been at work. I was at work last night.
Yeah.
And everybody listening, like Perry said, he felt bad. He felt bad because he knew how busy I was. There wasn't actually anything bad that happened.
Not until today, when one of your kids got sick.
He's sick from home. I think he's doing okay. I think it was his flu shot. But I just needed a little power nap this morning. I'm good to go.
I walked in and as we were saying hello, this is uncommon for us. I mean, we always hug goodbye, but it's not often that we hug hello.
I was like,
I saw it like, I just heard it in your voice and I saw it on your face that our being together was exactly what you needed.
Yes.
From the end of this week. And so, we had talked at one point about recording remotely, and then you were like, oh, or we could record at my house. And I was like, oh, actually that could work. I don't see any reason not to do that. And
that's the good thing about as I've been doing this, like we've almost got it set up to where you can just plug and play your computer, and we can record here, we could record there. I should just get another mic and just have your own setup here. And
I would love that. I mean, I'll get another mic.
We have other mics.
Well, I know, but I don't.
I'm just going to start wearing the wireless and walking around while we do the podcast. I always forget we have those.
We do, yeah. Well, you can't wear it. You have to hold it in your hand.
Don't we have a lapel one?
No,
that's
we don't.
what we need.
Yeah. That way we can go out to
on the move.
When we go back to Lexington Comic Con next year, which we are definitely going to do because the lineup already
we have to.
The lineup is ridiculous. I mean, to be able to ask one of the staples of my childhood, Steve from Blue's Clues, if he drinks bourbon. I'm gonna lose my mind.
He's like,
absolutely.
I was drinking a lot of bourbon on Blue's Clues,
dude. It's so funny. So like, I know I've been talking about this about them a lot recently, but I am like fully. Your child is very loud.
He's on his VR right now.
It's all good. But I am fully ingrained in the mythical society, the mythical beasts of it all, of following Rhett and Link, through Good Mythical Morning and their podcasts and everything. And like I'm listening to an episode of their podcast right now, Ear Biscuits, which is an early Tips and Bits. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in Tips and Bits, where they talked about a getaway weekend that they had with some of their college friends. And Rhett makes a comment about how there was just a lot of bourbon that they were drinking that weekend. And like I put this out on Instagram, or excuse me, on Patreon. And I mean this sincerely, that I want to know who you all would like to see us interview now. And we've got a few things lined up. We're working on some things here and there. But I genuinely want to take the time, especially now that my schedule is starting to become more consistent. I want to get back to interviewing people, bourbon related or not.
I was going to say, do people, like, to me, I think it's really entertaining when you have non bourbon people on a bourbon podcast.
One of my favorite interviews that I've ever done was with Jack Maxwell.
Yeah.
Who is the host of Booze Traveler on Travel Channel. And, he, of course, had bourbon before, but he was not really educated about it. Right. And so, I got to, have conversations with him about what bourbon actually is and, different aspects of it. But to also, hear somebody who is well-versed in tasting give tasting notes,
right?
Even if they're not directly oh, I know that bourbon has caramel, vanilla, and oak notes to it with some chocolate, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? So, my goal somehow, and I'm sure that there are, as they call us as fans of their stuff, mythical beasts that listen to the show. Swan is one. Chad, My Daily Bourbon is one.
I've watched a few
as well. And we've talked about their Little Debbie snack cake.
I have some
review.
questions about that one.
But it is my goal for 2023 to interview those guys.
You know who you should interview? That guy on YouTube that does fishing. He was ADHD fishing. He's talked about whiskey a few times.
Oh, and
but he's mainly.
Hasn't he changed his name?
No, he never really catches anything.
Oh,
it's ADHD fishing.
Yeah, sure. No, I'll
I mean, imagine a fishing dude on a bourbon podcast.
I would love to interview that guy. Actually,
yeah,
he's got a great personality.
Yeah,
I bet
handsome man.
I bet you, I could make him cry.
Probably, but you record it on a boat.
Oh, we've never done a podcast on a boat before.
Let's make it happen.
We should do a podcast on a boat in international waters. And we should do a podcast on some kind of air-based vehicle. Helicopter would be too loud, so I think it would have to be a plane or a jet or something like that.
Let's put it on the vision board.
Sure. My vision board is all mental, which makes it sound really
mental,
really sad and really
mental,
negative.
Bro.
No, but
you're mental.
Mental, bruv. But no, My goal is to have Rhett and Link on the podcast, to be able to send them samples, to be able to drink bourbon with them, and not just to have conversations about bourbon, but to have conversations with them. They are two of my heroes.
Yeah,
I actually sat down the other night and I started a note in my phone that just the title was My Heroes. And they were on there.
There goes my hero.
And maybe I'll talk about that on a different podcast.
What if we got Tony Hawk? It's one of my heroes.
Oh my gosh, I would love to interview Tony Hawk.
I know he drinks some whiskey because he did a commercial for one of those whiskey things that people send them out and they get samples it's like a Flaviar or something like that.
We almost got, and I need to pursue this again. Because the worst thing they can say is no.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if that's true. After having done this for so many years, the worst thing that somebody can say is nothing.
Oh, they just say no.
It's not a no. It's a non-response.
When you say nothing. What if we sent Tony Hawk the skateboard from the shop and he did a 360 or a 900 or something? Or just a kickflip.
Dude, okay. We send him the skateboard. He does some stuff on it.
Yeah.
He signs it, and then we hang it up in the studio.
Yeah.
That is how that should go.
Please.
Yeah. But anyway, I would like to hear from you all as well. Who you would like to see us interview, hear us interview, depending on how you consume the podcast. But there are just so many opportunities that have now kind of reopened themselves now that my schedule has become more solidified, and now that I'm kind of able to do more things and be more active with the podcast. But please let us know. You can tweet to us, send us messages at My Bourbon Pod or at Whiskey Mutant. You can send us an email as well. This is mybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to also find all of our apparel and merchandise, it's bourbonshop.threadless.com. There's a couple of new designs up there. Hopefully, by the time this episode comes out, we're going to have some holiday designs coming up too. What else? Follow us on social media too. I didn't even say that. You can also support the show at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, you get a bunch of bonus content. I say this week's bonus content so far has been killer.
Yeah.
We've had some really good stuff happening this week.
Find out really what happened during the week.
Yeah. And then some.
Yeah.
And then some. But
secret stuff.
Yeah, right. I have to bring up as well that we are still in the midst of our fundraiser for our friends over at splash.org. They are an organization that raises money so that they can provide not only clean drinking water, but clean hygiene opportunities to people in underprivileged communities around the globe. One fun fact that they like to point out, and I find this really fascinating as well, they have provided clean drinking water for every single orphanage in China.
Jeez.
Every single orphanage. Not only do they work with, these kind of these first parties, but they also work with local governments as well, depending on where they are, to make sure that funds for clean water and good hygiene are available, and that they are working with some of these private institutions as well to make sure that children are taken care of. It's something that, of course, is very near and dear to us because bourbon cannot be made without water. But also, I mean, hydration's a very necessary part of life.
Right. And I just think about, like, ever since I've been a dad, that stuff hits harder to me than it did before. Like, I was always smart enough to know that, some countries or places don't have good water. But now being a parent, it hits even more. It's like, just the simple things that we have access to that other people don't is just, it blows my mind sometimes.
Well, clean water has always been something, or drinkable water has always been something that I have been deeply passionate about.
Yeah.
Even as a teenager, when I was working with my youth group, there was a foundation that we worked with at that time. I don't think that they're as operational as they were back then, but they were providing clean drinking water for children in Africa. Or not just children, but communities too. They were building fresh water wells for people, and so that's always been something that has been very, very much a passion of mine. My family is very aware of it too, to the point where a few years ago for Christmas, my mother-in-law gave me Stella Artois glasses. Yeah. Do you remember those designs? She gifted me like the whole set for Christmas, and for every one of those glasses, all that money was raised for clean drinking water for people. And so I sat there and opened it, and I just lost it. I was like, this is just to have somebody who knows that much about you and gives you a gift that is simultaneously for somebody else,
right?
Too. I mean, that is such a great feeling. So you can donate directly through our affiliate link at splash.org/TIMBP. That's splash.org/TIMBIP. Go and check that out. We are going to be doing some really fun stuff come December. It's something I haven't even talked to you about yet. But I got a really, really fun idea.
Okay.
For once we're closing things out.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it right now. Let's get into our first segment, Flying Blind, which I don't really have a blind sample for you.
I have a snack for you.
Do you?
Sips and snacks.
You got a sips and snacks for me?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to also try something that I've been... Okay, because it's been sitting here staring at us, and I reviewed it last night.
Yeah, let me have that first.
Yeah.
Let me have that over here.
Buddy, I reviewed this on my live stream last week. I compared it to all of the Jack releases that have been made available to me this year as well. Is that a good question or a bad question?
That's different.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, it's a single malt.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't even realize that we had got that. And then...
Well, I
think initially, I missed it.
So this is all my fault. Honestly, I'll accept 100% of the blame. But I initially was like, I'm going to take this episode and I'm just going to surprise Eric with a bunch of stuff. And then I realized that nobody had put a review out for it yet.
No, I'm glad you got a review
so now two live streams over the past 3 weeks.
Exclusive reviews.
I have had the very first reviews of products that nobody else has had. And the first one was the 2XO Phoenix Blend from Dixon Deadman. And now this, the American Single Malt Cast Strength Twice Barreled.
I get excited when Jack Daniel's sends something because I feel like
it took a long time.
I feel like I had a part of that, but I didn't. I feel like it was like the motivation of like having a contest to see how to get samples from Jack, and something happened, and Perry won. Obviously, I lost. They still haven't messaged me, but I'm just glad we're getting Jack samples. Like that's all I care about.
No, it's crazy to get that email saying that we have a sample of a new Jack Daniel's product.
And that's like the LE of the year.
Yeah, no, this is the second one, I guess, because they put out that small batch Coy Hill earlier on, and that was the only one that I didn't have access to. So I wasn't able to put it up against the Distillery Series releases and the Bonded and the Triple Mash that came out. But I spoilers if you haven't watched it yet. That last
so you
last
compared this to a lot of stuff.
To 4 other whiskeys.
Triple Mash in there.
Triple Mash, Bonded, the High Toast Oak Rye Whiskey.
Oh yeah,
and the High Toast Maple Barrel Rye Whiskey as well. And this was the best out of the 5 of them by far.
That's different.
No, it is. It's a completely different animal. If you go into this with expectations that you are going to be drinking a Jack Daniel's product or a Jack Daniel's whiskey that you are familiar with, you are going to be either disappointed or so thrown for a loop that you're not going to know what to do for with yourself.
I don't know if I like the nose that much. But the palate tastes like a coffee cake.
Oh, dude, I love this whiskey. I gave it a 14 out of 20.
Oh,
high praise.
What's the price on this?
$70.
Oh God. Okay. I thought you was going to say something more. But.
No, I expected it to be more. I expected it to be like 150.
Okay, the nose is just different to me. It's just weird.
Now, here's the thing though. So, like I said, all right, my phone's going off. I went through. I should do that. Yeah, you're right. Been doing this for 5 years. I should know some etiquette.
You're in a different place right now.
It's true. I went through all 5 of those products, but there is still something, despite the fact that they were different styles of whiskey. Every single one of them had this prevailing note on the nose, and I can't figure out exactly what it is.
Fig Newton.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right.
I mean, at least this one, it smells like fig.
Like thinking back to it as I was tasting through everything, it was you're right. It was like a different kind of fruit note in there with a little bit of a dryness. And it kind of like translates almost to, unfortunately, like a sweaty sock or something.
It's that different that's off-putting, but you like it.
Yeah.
I love the palate on this.
Dude,
it tastes like a coffee cake.
I think this is an incredible whiskey, and I'm very thankful that we got to try this. And I'm very thankful that we're just getting stuff sent by Jack Daniel's. I mean, like I don't know how else to say that. But
what's the proof?
105.7 is what they put on the label. However, here's the discrepancy though. This is nothing new for anybody who watched the live stream.
Get that little. I love this little bottle.
Oh, I'm going to use that bottle for
little bottle.
Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Anyway, I've already done the sizing, man. No, anyway, in the press release that we got, it said that the proof was going to be anywhere between like 106.1 and 107.8 or something like that. So I don't know if they accidentally wrote 105.7 and it should have been 106.7 or
that's just what that is.
Maybe it was the press release that was wrong. I don't know. I've also feel like I've also seen Coy Hill bottles that have been outside of the proof range that they have said it actually was going to be. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Somebody needs to do some quality control over at Jack Daniel's, I think. But all that aside, this is a great whiskey. They absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. Is that it?
13.5.
Nice. I gave the price a 4.5. That was I think that was my highest score out of everything, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that it was an LE.
Yeah, bottle. I think the finish is a little lacking.
That was my lowest score.
That's the lowest score. Price, I think in my head I was saying like a 4.5 because I think when you said 75 or whatever, I was like, what?
$70.
I thought you were going to say 150 or 200. Nose is a little less to me than the palate because when that palate hits, it's like a coffee cake. I love it. So yeah, I mean that's solid.
Yeah, dude.
I like that.
No, they like I said, they knocked it out of the park with this one. And now for the sips and the snack.
Let me get you this little LE cookie here.
Oh,
this is
that Funfetti Oreos?
Snickerdoodle Oreo.
Oh.
We're gonna continue the training. I got a little sample poured because I didn't know if I was gonna have to drop it off or not. So we can pour it blind and you can try to figure out what it is and tell me what you think.
Works for me. Let me clean a glass out real quick too.
I got more water if you need any.
I mean, I've got my water bottle.
Okay.
But.
And this is something new I got. I won't tell you, obviously, but I'll talk about it when we talk about what we've been drinking.
Oh, okay.
I've only had this one time, but I immediately wanted to pair it with this.
Have you noticed that, like, we have slowed down on sending each other pictures or texts about like what we found out.
Well, I mean, what we're reviewing today was going to be a surprise until I was like, okay, well, we got to switch it up and figure out what we're doing. Yeah, because I was going to be like, run a little late. I had to stop and get something. I hope you like it.
I mean, I haven't even told you all the things that I've brought over to review. So this is going to be a review heavy episode, by the way. We get to this point in the year, and I have kind of debated this over the past couple of years, like whether or not I should just start like a blog where I go through and review stuff because I samples build. It's a nice, you know, a nice thing to be able to rely on. But we get sent so many samples that it's impossible. We put out 52 episodes a year.
Yeah. And that's why...
there's only so many whiskeys we can get through.
And that's why it's good to have stuff like that on the live stream, because
exactly
you can go back, if you're listening and you haven't watched it, you can go back and hear the full review, go back and watch the video.
Yeah, so exactly. So, I think what we're going to wind up doing is, like, around this time every year, maybe, you know, we get to December 1st and then we do this, but we just get to the point where we need to review a bunch of stuff, or we at least need to have it on our palate and in our brains so that we can, you know, throw it into the mix of, well, do we think this is one of the best whiskeys of the year?
Right.
So on and so forth. Anyway, I'm excited to get into this.
Snickerdoodle Oreo.
These are so pungent.
They'll hit you.
It has been sitting, almost a foot away from my face, and it smells so strong.
Yeah.
But they smell amazing, man.
Oh, they're dangerous. These are definitely in the top 5 of the Oreos of the year.
I'm a double stuff man.
I know you are.
I don't miss the double stuff with these. You got a little.
We don't need it.
No. Man, that is so good. All right, so what's your plate? You're dunking it?
Do you want to try the whiskey first?
Yes.
Okay. It opens up all the like peppermint and the stuff. Like it just opens this up more.
Now, I know you well enough to know that this is more than likely a pick.
Yeah.
Because we don't really buy new releases for ourselves just to have around.
Right.
Like we buy picks and we buy our daily drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
So is this an Ernie's pick?
Mm-mm.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Oh, dude, just a little bit of dunk on it. That's so good.
Brother.
I mean,
that is spectacular.
I knew it was going to be good.
Oh, there's like a sweet cinnamon. Are sweet and cinnamon allowed to be said in the same sentence?
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Though, like a cinnamon, a cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, cinnamon sugar.
But it like gets unlocked when you actually drink.
Yeah,
it's a video game upgrade.
Yeah, you got to get them both at the same time, and you got to put the cheat code in, and then like your taste buds and your palate just do this special combo.
I don't even know what the pick is.
This is so my friend that I used to work with. He now.
Sorry, I wasn't leaning in to like get serious. I wasn't leaning in to get serious. I was trying to lean away from the mic so that my chewing wasn't so obvious. But it definitely looked like I was trying to like grill you on where you were on the night of the 21st.
But so my buddy that I used to work with, he moved to Nashville because he is married to a country singer, Taylor Austin. Yeah. Taylor Austin Dye?
Yeah. I know Taylor. I've played shows with her before.
So
Taylor, what up if you're listening to this or watching it?
So I worked with Ben, her now husband, who plays drums, and he's now her like he does drums for her. He kind of did the tour managing stuff with her and stuff like that. He was a nurse, and he does nursing like part-time now. He does that stuff. So when he sees something in Nashville, he was like, he grabbed it and he was like, I think Eric's gonna like that. And they were in town the other day, and so I got a chance to run down. I didn't get to watch the show. I just got to say hi, and he had this for me. It's a Frugal McDougal.
Whoa!
Traverse City rye, 6 years old, and it's got a Vegeta sticker on it.
Okay, now hold on. This sticker implies that there's a Goku.
There is. He drank the bourbon. Apparently there was a rye Traverse City and a bourbon Traverse City, and the bourbon had Goku on it. And he said, we drank all the Goku, but I saved the Vegeta for you. So we need to see if we can get...
Ben, please get bottles of both so that we can...
Yeah. But this has been a while, because he said he got this a while back. So I don't...
Okay.
These may be gone. But I think we know enough friends in Tennessee and Nashville that if Ben doesn't have it, somebody may be able to get us the Goku. So,
yeah.
So 6-year-old, 56.5%. Traverse City rye.
It's good stuff, man.
Frugal McDougal.
That's fantastic. Ugh. Ben, I love you, but also I'm more of a Goku guy than I am Vegeta.
Well, I know.
But you're also more of a Vegeta guy than you are Goku. Yeah.
But in the end, I like them both.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do too. I love them both for different reasons. But
the collector in me is dying.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want both of them.
Well, you're looking at it, and it's only half of the fusion.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, what have you been drinking recently?
Well, I had a little bit of that just to get the pairing ready. What else?
Nothing else.
I did have Sunday. The Bills lost. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me post, but I'm a Bills fan. They lost. Our quarterback got hurt. And so I don't know why. I came down here and I grabbed Old Fitz 16. And I was like,
What's sitting on the floor over there right now?
Yeah.
The decanter? Yeah.
And
such a good bottle.
It is. And I just had that as my little moping around. My football team lost and I was pissed. So,
what's weird? You play like every possible field that you can play. Sports, music, anime, comic books.
I feel
movies,
like it's too much sometimes.
Whiskey. And like I think I had to at some point like make the conscious decision to let one of those go, and I think it was sports. Probably like I've got my baseball team that I follow. I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan.
I don't follow baseball that much anymore.
But my point is just that like I don't have a sport that I really am so invested in that, and I mean even with baseball, I'm like I kind of am like bummed for a little while, but it doesn't like affect my mood
right
necessarily. But my point is that like if at face value we took you and we found out that you were an anime fan and you were tattooed and everything, my first instinct would not be, oh, this guy loves sports too. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be like,
no, I get it.
Like not judgmental, but prejudiced or anything. It's just like that's my initial inclination is that I would think, things that are more entertainment driven for the sake of entertainment, not for the sake of like following a sport or anything. That would have been my initial impression of you, I guess. But it's always funny for me to hear you say things like, I got really bummed out when my team didn't win. Like that's just not a part of your personality that I think I have even really like fully embraced. Yeah,
no, I get it. Like,
what are you doing? Are you peeking?
No, I put this cookie.
Don't peek.
I put the cookie down there.
Okay,
take it home.
Well, it's not even going to be for me. It's going to be for Lucy.
That's fine. No, I get it.
I do have to stop by the grocery on the way home, so I'm probably going to pick up a whole pack. Yeah.
It's mainly Kentucky football and basketball, Bills. I keep up with some NBA, and I keep up with some baseball. But I don't really like baseball. I don't really have a team. And all that. But yeah, I get what you're saying because it's not normally one of those things where like that person who's into that is also into
everything else. Literally everything else.
I get it.
Yeah.
So what have you been drinking?
Well, I got to try over at Mom and Dad's Papa Ritter's BRTO 2 from Maker's Mark, their wood finishing series. That's the one that was force sensitive but also had a really, really bad cocaine habit.
Oh, yeah. That was in that one-shot comic.
Yeah. It actually... a
droid that has a cocaine habit.
Whatever just space...
absolutely made me lose it in my head just
whatever
now.
Space cocaine is.
Oh, that's my phone. What's the drug that they push? Spice. Yeah, spice.
Yeah, he's got a spice habit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
The Maker's Mark BRTO 2. All right, Pete. Stop following me everywhere. Really good. Really weird. I want to save my actual like review of it for when you have had it and when we can sit down and have it together.
Is there 2 of them this year?
There are 2. There's BRTO1 and BRTO2.
Well, you know what
I know exactly what we're going to have to do. Okay. I'm going to buy one, you're going to buy the other one, and then we're going to blend the 2 of them together, and we're going to have a real good time together.
Fusion. We just
now we're the fat version.
Yeah. 30 minutes later, we can try again.
Crap. But it's different. It's not anything I was expecting from a Maker's, especially a limited Maker's product. So
Interesting.
I look forward to trying that one with you. Trying to think what else. It's been kind of as far as like trying new things, I guess, a bit of a dry spell, just because we've gotten so many samples and I've had to hold off on drinking them until I've been with you, which is a big part of why we're doing this episode. Right. On the pregame chats, we had the Castle and Key Weeded Bourbon, their first batch. Anybody who wants to find out about what our thoughts were on that, patreon.com/Bourbon Podcast. Might surprise you.
Yeah.
But I mean, otherwise, it's been a pretty tame week for me, except for one thing. 2 things.
Oh boy. Why is it that anytime I see Deatsville on an Elijah Craig pick, I automatically my pants get smaller? There's something about the ones that call Deatsville. What is this one? Deatsville again?
Yeah, so it's twin barrels. I mean, twin, like, they came out at the same time.
Right.
But one's a 9-year-old and one's a 10-year-old.
8-year-old.
8-year-old, excuse me. Both from Liquor Barn.
Damn. How'd you get... What the
fuck? Right place, right time.
I was going to say.
So here's the thing. As you can tell, one I've had for a little bit longer than the other.
Right.
But I went into Liquor Barn this past weekend. And I can't even remember what I went in for a purpose, and I can't remember what it was that I got. At Liquor Barn?
I don't
know either. And on the counter, they had the 8-year. I was like, well, at first I was like between that or I was between like getting a Knob Creek pick and, just replenishing my stock of Benchmark Foolproof, which, by the way, if you've been listening over the past few weeks, I know I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. Here's the thing. I will allow one of their products to enter into, and the reason being that it is a utility whiskey more than it is anything else. So I'm okay with every now and then forking over $25 to said entity. But Benchmark Foolproof is my one excuse.
Utility whiskey. I love that.
But I was between like that and a Knob Creek pick, and then I saw that the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof single barrel was over there, and I thought, well, it's very rare that I see them.
Yeah.
So I was going to grab one. It was $85.
Do other people not look at these like they're very limited and special like we do?
No, I think they do, or at the very least, it's been kind of manufactured to be seen as limited because, they had it on their counter at Liquor Barn. It's the same place where they have signs up that say 1 bottle per person per day. And so, there were still plenty of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, usually,
at that point,
we're in a lot of the same groups, local groups and stuff. And usually when something like this pops up, some kind of pick, like it's all over, and then people snatch them up.
It's a buy for me immediately.
But but you don't see many people like posting about like, hey, there's a new ECBP at Liquor Barn or something like that. Like, I don't know.
No, I mean, we're in a Buffalo Trace driven community, economy, whatever. But then last night, I ran over to your preparation. I ran over to Liquor Barn again, a different Liquor Barn, so that I could pick up a bottle of and it was just kind of like me hoping that I would be able to find it because we've not been able to find it anywhere in Kentucky. But the Jack Daniel's Triple Mash, and it was sitting right there on the shelf. And as I do,
See,
I actually was looking at it as I was telling you about it. But as we are wont to do, just perusing the shelves just to see if anything was different or caught our eye or whatnot. And it wasn't even in the same section as Elijah Craig. It was at the tail end of the bourbon section. This 10-year.
Really?
Yeah. On the shelf, not behind the counter, not in a reserved space or anything, not even in the glass cabinet that they have. And it had the same thing. Knob Creek pick that's been sitting there for a little while. Do I get that? And then all of a sudden I see this. I'm like, nope. I need to get this Elijah Craig.
Whoa, the 10-year?
I know.
This 8-year is good. It's very tame for a ECBP. It's only 122.2.
Yeah, but the 10-year is 128 proof.
It
is.
It coats your tongue all over.
I mean, it is
I had
spectacular bottle.
Barely anything, and it's like I wouldn't need to go back for a drink. I would want to, but like
it takes you a bit.
It's so bakery, heavy. That's probably better than. It's better than any of the ECBPs that have come out this year. I was going to say that's better than the batches right now.
I mean, thankfully, and I'm sorry, I know that we all are like, oh, just tell me where the store is. But like, I'm not going to tell people on air where this bottle is. I want to go back and be able to get another one.
Yeah. I mean,
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is just so special. It's so special to me.
This was picked in June, apparently.
Yeah. And it's November now, so it took 5 months to get here.
Probably 11 years by the time they put it in the barrel.
Could have been. But it's incredible.
That's freaking good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
Yeah. I brought those over so you could try them. I'm we've got a lot to get to, and I also have to drive home. So,
and I do know. No, I just took a little bit.
The script has been flipped, ladies and gentlemen.
But no, that 10-year is so good. Both of them are good. But like, I don't know, that 10-year, there's something a little bit special about
How much would you like to see a 13-year? Or anything above 12, because we know what 12-year Elijah Craig Barrel Proof tastes like.
Imagine how oily like a 14-year-old.
That's what I'm saying. Like anything that
somebody had there. Why isn't that like a special release?
I don't know.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof 15.
Well, I mean, like I'm looking at the 18-year that's over there. But the problem with that, it's a single barrel, and B, it's the proof. Exactly. I mean, it should be.
Give me an 18-year-old Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Oh, I'd lose it. Yeah. I'd have a good time. A bad time, but a good time.
Have a good time, boy.
We got reviews to get to, man.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Do we want to start small?
Oh gosh.
And work our way up? Or do we want to
how many do we got to do?
We've got 2 that we can do in tandem.
Okay.
And then 2 other ones after that. One of them is the one that you brought to the table, literally. And the other one is the one that we tried last week when it got delivered to my house as we were recording.
What's the proof on?
This is 105 proof.
And what are those?
These are both 100.
Let's do those.
Okay.
What are those?
This one is...
They don't even have a label on them.
This one's 99. So I'm okay with going to this one next. Because this
you just want to work our way up? We'll just do small pours of all 3 and work our way up to that.
Yeah,
well, let's do that one first. 99, you said?
Yeah, but this one's older than these 2.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to...
Gotcha.
The tension.
There's just so much goodness.
And I also have not even cracked these.
Sorry.
I haven't. No, that's fine.
What is these?
These are the 2 new limited releases from New Riff.
Really?
Yeah. Both of them.
Dang.
We got very, very lucky getting these samples.
There's not even I can't even get it.
I don't think it's going to focus super well.
There's not even a logo on it. No. It's just
Now,
wow.
we did get told, and I might have to blur it out or cut away from you, but we did get told that we can't photograph these sample bottles. So
shit. You should put a big blurry on that one, though. I didn't know.
No, I didn't even think to tell you beforehand, but I have not had these. I saved these fresh cracks for us to enjoy together.
Wow.
These are the 6-year whiskeys that New Riff just put out. Aristook malted rye and the Crystal Malt bourbon.
So I've got Crystal in Whiskey More glass, and I've got the other one in my Gundam glass. So,
well, are you going? Tell me left to right.
Which one are you going first?
I think we should go for the bourbon first.
Is that the Crystal one?
Yeah.
Okay. So bourbon and then rye. One's a rye, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Aristook rye, malted rye. Excuse me.
All right. New Riff. Putting out more new stuff.
Both bottled and bond, both 100 proof. Of course, 6 years old. And the date on both of these, I don't think it really matters, but they both say October 24th of this year. So
please smell that. What is that?
Frozen waffles? You know what I'm saying, though?
It's like a blueberry. It's like
exactly.
A blueberry waffle that you have not put in the toaster yet.
Blueberry and strawberry waffles, the frozen Eggo ones, are what I grew up with as a kid. And my mom would always ask me, because she'd make me breakfast before school. She would ask, do you want blueberry or strawberry? And it was depending on the day.
I want both, Mom.
That's the thing. Sometimes it would be both. I would combine the two. And it actually, like, now that I'm spending a little bit more time with it, it is almost like a mixed berry frozen waffle from Eggo.
Shit, that's so good. That smells really good.
How strange, dude.
Cheers.
Cheers to everybody watching or listening too.
Whoa, that's different. That's not even close to the nose. What is that? What?
Did you hear that? It like bubbled up in my chest.
That's weird.
I love it though.
It's so different than the nose. I was expecting a lot of berry and fruit and stuff.
But it goes real like
it goes
baked good sugary.
It goes burnt sugar.
Yeah.
There's some caramelization going on there.
And we're back. Sorry. I was running out of battery.
Yeah. So we had to go find the battery together.
Yeah. We were on a journey.
Yeah.
Much like I think I just sat on my balls.
It happens to the best of us sometimes. It's a big ball problem.
Sorry, regular feed. That's stuff that normally gets saved for Patreon, but I don't know how to cut around that.
It's a BBP.
Big ball problem? Yeah.
So, y'all know.
I want to try the Aristook rye before we actually do any kind of reviewing.
Okay.
But I think that it's probably in our best interest to not sit here and dissect every single little bit of it. So we'll kind of give it a general score for each one. It's still going to be on our out of 20 scale. Whatever we normally do.
I love the nose on that.
On the bourbon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look up the prices on these because I don't...
$65, I bet.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I feel like that's about like every New Riff.
Crystal Malt, Aristook. I'll throw rye in there just in case. Beverage Dynamics. That sounds like a fun website. Oh, come on. Stupid pop-ups. It's 2022. We should be past pop-ups on websites.
That's true.
$60 per bottle.
Oh, there you go. $60.
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad at all. We'll get to that in just a second. That bourbon is great, though.
Yeah.
I'm really, really impressed.
That's a roller coaster because it's one of those that goes from nose to palate.
Hold up. Hold up.
There's a spider down there?
The rye. It feels like it.
Whoa.
Strawberry cream savor.
Twizzler and a milkshake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the
Twizzler
same.
milk. It's a milkshake if you use the Twizzler as a straw.
No, it's like a vanilla milkshake, but you got a Twizzler going as a straw.
I don't know how to feel about this one.
I thought it was kind of like a menthol cigarette.
I've never had a cigarette before, especially a menthol one.
It's like, think of tobacco and menthol and smoke.
No, I mean, I can kind of...
Remember when I was hanging out with the old ladies at the meetup?
I remember. That was a menthol?
That took me back for a second. Yeah, it was a Virginia Slim.
I actually like the finish. Okay, so first of all, this palate is extremely oily. I mean, it is thick and viscous. But the finish starts to remind me of like mint chocolate chip ice cream.
There's a lot of mint in there.
Yeah.
I get a lot of mint. There's a mint, to me it's mint and tobacco.
Yeah.
But like a cigarette tobacco.
Look at your cat, dude.
Just trying to get that Russell's 10 over there or something.
Oh, you might have a bug.
Probably.
She had her little face right up at like the bottom of the Russell's bottle. That was fantastic. She's a good cat.
She is. Good cat. She's the best little pet we got.
What's wrong with the other two?
Well, piss me off sometimes. Freaking corgis. Man. I initially didn't like it as much, and now I kind of do like it.
They're just completely different animals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Oh, that finish is so good, though. Dude, the back end of the palate into the finish is quintessential limited edition whiskey.
Yeah.
It just feels so special.
I mean, it's almost like, and I feel like, I can't remember what we've had that I've said this about before, but it's almost rhubarby.
Oh, crap. What was it?
There's something rhubarby about this rye.
Yeah. Can't remember.
I don't know.
Regardless.
Wow.
Really, really good. I know that people have either gotten it at this point or they just missed out on it, but for $60 a bottle for each of these.
Oh, these are a buy, both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I got to think through this now. The bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I just have to go back and revisit it.
I love, out of both of these, the nose on the bourbon to me is the best nose. Mm-hmm. It may be the one of my favorite things of both of them all around.
The bourbon is an 11 out of 20, 11 and a half out of 20. And the rye is a 13 and a half out of 20.
10 and a 13. The bourbon, to me, although it's interesting that the nose switches, like it's like a 180 on the palate, I don't know if I necessarily think that's a great thing. You know, if I had that waffle on the palate too, oh my God.
We talk about that a lot, is the consistency between nose and palate on bourbons, on ryes, on whiskeys. And I think that this is a good example of when they don't exactly line up. But I think for me, it works a little bit better than it does for you. The finish is a little lackluster, not like so much so, but I still really, really enjoy this one.
I think for the price, it's worth, whether you want to get it for consistency or like weird notes or just something to have in a blind or compare it. I think it's worth it. The price is probably the best part about it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I love the rye.
The rye's fantastic.
The rye, it goes from like, I don't know if I like this, to, oh yeah, you like me. Come here, little boy. Smoke this menthol. I didn't mean it that way. I meant it as a short boy. Short man.
Sure you did.
Short man. No, seriously. Like,
short king.
It's short king. I'm a short king.
You're not even that short.
I'm shorter than you. So
that doesn't make you short, though.
It does when I'm around you the most. I'm short. Short, bald king.
I've not noticed your like plastic tubs of nerd stuff before.
Yeah, and my kids came down here and tried to go through them, so everything's out of whack. There's comic books, there's Funkos, there's action figures, there's Blu-rays, DVDs.
Man.
Yeah, it's bad.
Did they find your porn too?
No. Converted it all digital.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like menthol, cigarette, tobacco, but like rhubarb, like this rye has so much going on for it. Like I could talk about this thing probably.
It's not the Pursuit rye that you're thinking of, is it?
No.
With the rhubarb?
Is it? No. I feel like that was more gingerbread.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, you did just do that pairing.
I did do the pairing. Oh, that's something else I've been drinking.
Follow him on TikTok.
Yeah. That rye is just crazy. I would buy both of them if I only had $60. I didn't have 120. I would buy the rye.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, even just based on the scores.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty evident. But I mean, regardless, both of these are really good.
Thank you, New Riff, for that.
Thank you, Tracy.
Tracy, thank you.
Tracy has been somebody that we have been able to rely on for a long time with the podcast, and she has constantly been in our corner.
Awesome.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Good friend of the show. And just a good friend.
If I had the trophy, I would say Tracy, best person ever.
I forgot the trophy.
Funko Perry says, Tracy, best person ever. There you go.
I mean, he's right.
I mean, it's true.
All right. Widow Jane, The Vaults, 14 years.
Oh, you got a little preview of this one last week.
We did indeed try this. Minimum of 14 years old. I think I remember, did I say something about this being like 14 to 19 years old?
I think so.
I think so too. $250 a bottle.
There's a full bottle right here.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to put this? Am I allowed to do this?
That you can do. You can indeed show the people. I don't know if it's going to focus or not.
Either way.
Yeah, regardless.
You don't have to put the Cinemax
blur
on that one.
Oh, that was a nice little handoff that.
What if I just threw it?
I would lose my mind.
I'm like, there's a rug over there to catch it.
Hey, buddy. Let's not do that again.
I'm like, I get called down like a kid and like a teacher. Hey, let's not do that.
That's the way it felt when I said, hey, buddy, is like I was talking to a kid.
Hey, buddy, let's not be mean like that anymore. Oh, we're bigger.
Excuse me? Nobody has any Patreon, the main feed. Nobody has any reference for what that comment means. And it's literally just because I increased the window of our monitor. Don't look at me like that, you weirdo. All right. So this one's 99 proof. It is finished in 3-year air seasoned Missouri oak. Taking the poetry of whiskey and making it sing. I love that line, actually. That like it sounds real wanky.
Making it sing?
Taking the poetry of whiskey and making it sing.
I like that.
It sounds like something. It sounds like something that Matthew McConaughey would say about Wild Turkey products.
Mm-hmm.
And I am all for it.
Oh yeah. All right.
I heard some of it. Oh wait, no, it was on Rhett and Link's podcast. He was talking about, like, you know, you get into this rhythm of your life, and people kind of like expect you to play the hits.
Oh yeah.
Right. And it was the same thing of, like, you know, you go to see a band play and like they get to the encore and you're kind of like, oh, I could feel the energy of this song.
It's going to be this song
coming. And people ask him, like, are you tired of saying something like, all right. And he's like, no, that's like my thing.
Right.
Like, that's what people know me for. Why
I
wrote that. He's like, I wrote that. That was a thing that I gave myself.
Yeah.
So why would I ever be tired of it?
Do you ever get tired of saying this is my Bourbon podcast?
Never.
Exactly.
I enjoy it every single time. There is a little spark of serotonin or dopamine or whatever when I say, and this is my Bourbon podcast.
Yeah.
That just lights. I can, like, even saying it then, I felt this,
you
like,
made it. It's yours.
This wave of like comfort and just pure joy in it. I get it, man. It's part of establishing a brand. Even like, and that sounds very. It sounds very corporate, I guess, or very like removed. Removalist.
I think
that's
nowadays,
not the right phrase.
Nowadays everybody has. I mean, whiskey.
Well, sure, but
whiskey mutant brand.
But you know what I mean, though. Like it just, there is a level to it that feels disingenuous.
Yeah.
And like I say, but like it does still mean something to me on a very, very intimate and personal level.
Right.
To end things with this is my Bourbon podcast, or on live streams say this is 10-Bip Live.
Yeah.
Like that it's all part of it. It's important to me, I guess. Been doing this for 5 years. You think that it would be?
No. Never.
At what point do I stop qualifying the things that, or quantifying the things that I'm doing based on the amount of years that I'm doing them?
Never.
I want to stop doing that, though. Like
10 years.
It's almost like trying to base your personality on how old you are.
10 years.
You know what but do you know what I mean, though? Like people saying, well, I'm, and I wasn't really exposed to it, or I wasn't really like made to see it until I was in like a guitar group or something, and there was some guy who was like, boy, and it usually is it is something that follows up a comment that starts with like, you know what, boy,
I'm 45 years old.
Exactly. Like, I'm 65. I've been around. I've been doing this forever. And it's like, you know, that's not part of your personality. That is literally just how old you are.
Yeah.
So don't put that into your lexicon of, you know, the way that people should perceive you.
Yeah. I think, though, when you've been podcasting, you're going to do something random that's going to be like, I've never done that in the 10 years I've been a podcaster.
Right. But I think that I am, and this is a habit that I think I'm forming, and I want you to kind of help me break it, that I am saying more and more that, like, my qualifier for doing something or not doing something is that I've been doing this podcast for 5 years.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to like be able to remove myself.
You mean hit you in the kneecap every time you do that?
Just call me out for it. I
might hit you.
Okay. Well, we're not normally sitting this close to each other.
I kind of like it, though.
I think we should move you over to my side of the table. I think we're going to change some things up, man.
I kind of like it.
I do too. I think it gives us a better dynamic to. I don't know. We'll talk about it. I don't want to take you away from your corner of the room, but also
smells over there.
Yeah. The backdrop is also better if we're both sitting on the same side of the table.
I can't figure out if that's just if I want to fix that back or if that's just our gimmick now. It's like, hey, he's the guy that has the Christmas decorations in the background.
I think we should move you over to my side of the table.
Well, we'll see.
This is like a trial run for me that feels like we should be on the same side. Sorry, we had another cut.
Kids. Okay.
I actually did. Yeah, we'll get to it. This nose, in comparison to everything else, it's weird, right?
It's different.
It's different for sure.
It's completely different animal. I can't even remember what I said last time about it because it was like a spurt of the moment, like fresh crack thing. But now it's almost.
Ooh. Have you tasted it? There is something on the front end that I am just not a big fan of.
It's the finish I love, but it takes
a long time to get there.
It takes me a few seconds to get to that finish, and that finish is what I like about it.
But the palate is like, and bear with me here, chocolate covered Necco wafers.
That's deep.
I think that's what I'm getting on the palate, though.
It's almost like that, only it's a little stale. You know what I mean? It's almost like a stale.
Oh, you know what it is? Have you ever had Malamars?
Yeah.
It's stale Malamar.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's
the stale graham cracker of it all.
Mm-hmm.
But still with like chocolate and marshmallow and whatnot. Which is weird. Like, I've never thought about a Necco wafer having a marshmallow flavor to it. But I guess it does. It's just not a good marshmallow flavor.
I feel like I liked this better the other day.
I did too. But in comparison to everything else that we've had, this is just not as good.
It's just stale.
But I like having this in... It's a very privileged viewpoint to say that I like having this in my collection, but that is solely based on the fact that I didn't pay $250 for this bottle.
Yeah.
I was sent this bottle. We were sent this bottle as a token of gratitude.
Right.
That's not going to keep us from being honest about the review. But I everything else that's going on with it, and in the vacuum of this one particular product, I definitely liked last year's Vaults release better. This one is just...
I like the nose.
It's missing the mark for me.
I like the nose, but then it takes me too long to get to what I like.
Yeah.
It takes me too long to get to the finish. Yeah, dude, it's like chocolate stale wafers. You're exactly right.
8.5 out of 10.
Let's see. Adding it up in my head.
Let me guess. 7.
7.5.
Oh, so close.
Yeah. The finish is my favorite part, and I can't.
You normally score things a little bit lower than I do, though.
Yeah.
I think I'm just trying to be nice. A lot of the time.
Your name's on everything, and I'm just
You're just over here going, I don't care what happens. The guy, if he can burn to the ground, and I'm still the whiskey mutant.
But it's true. Like, it's just like, this is a lot of money.
Yeah. $250 for a bottle.
Yeah.
Especially one. And you know, here's the thing. We are friends with the folks at Widow Jane. But I do think that we have also developed enough of a relationship at this point over the course of the past couple of years to where we can be honest and we can say this one didn't quite make it. That being said, I don't think we're going to get blacklisted from being sent samples or bottles or anything in the way that some bigger name corporations so many good
things. Oh, there's so many good things that we've had from them, and then like there are good things about this. It's just, I mean, that price hurts a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure,
hurts a lot
for sure.
Indiana and Tennessee. I just wonder if that Tennessee note is just
Cadiz. That's what it is.
I think it's that Tennessee.
I think so too. It's a little too dickly.
Mm-hmm. There's a stale, weird, like gravel note. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm tired of waiting.
Do the honors. Da, 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 da. I got a box today from Ernie's. And it's the master box.
You're the master boxer.
The master boxer.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Dude, it has been a long time since I've been able to unbox and open one of these fresh. Because, like, my Master's Keep bottles. Oh, what is that? Do you see that?
Something in the glass.
There's something in the glass. There's a little fleck of something.
I don't know if it's a fleck or it's just a bubble in the glass.
I'm going to have to take a picture of it so I can put it in the video version. Bizarre. It kind of looks like bug poop.
What? Is there bug poop in my Master's Keep?
I hope not, but you know what I mean? It just looks kind of off.
I think it's something in the glass.
I think so too.
I don't know.
He's really investigating.
Perry Russell, what have you done?
Oh, you don't want to know what Perry Russell has done.
Is that what that is? A little piece of Perry Russell in there?
Maybe. I already took it out of the box. You open it. You bought it.
I know, but dun, 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 dun.
Now we can't turn back. We can't return it. Hi, Minnie. America. 3 episodes in a row I've done Matt Porter's America. How long will it go on for before I forget?
The world may never know.
All right.
Can I say that I just love the corks on these things? I mean, they are just big boys.
Wild Turkey Master's Keep Unforgotten, a blend of Kentucky straight bourbon and rye whiskeys finished in rye casks. 105 proof.
Look at that.
Look at that. Why is it so out of focus?
Because it's focusing on us.
There we go. That's better. Just twiddle it along the table. Hi, everybody. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Let's move on. Hey, I'm Master. That's exactly what
I'm here again.
This is the stupidest thing we've done.
All right. Anyway, so Master's Keep. Every year, it's almost like I got to get it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Okay. Talk me off the ledge for a second, though. What is the price?
What I paid? I don't know what MSRP is. I got a little frequent flyer discount.
You don't know what MRSA is?
MRSA. I know what MRSA is. I know what MRSA is.
High praise from Dave Jennings over at Rarebird 101. Now, I give the man credit because he's built his whole brand around Wild Turkey. And I'm never going, I don't look at what he's done and gone, well, he's biased. I think he's, he's got a good grasp on what good turkey and bad turkey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I trust him.
MSRP, $200.
I paid $205 for this.
Hey, as far as MSRP goes, that's not bad.
I can't. This is a 10 BIP disclosure. I can't guarantee that anybody else is going to get that.
Sure.
This was also after I got the frequent flyer discount from my store.
Right.
So it probably was going for more of a 230, 240 type deal. But I paid a little bit over what MSRP is. Let me.
That'll make you perk up.
Yeah, I just did. I got adjustment fans.
I feel away.
Oh, do you remember the time that you first?
Whatever your question is, yes, I do. Or no, I don't know, man. I got no idea. Whoa, your cat just ran away.
Did you initially love rare breed rye? Were you like instantly in love?
I don't think so, but I did have an affinity for it. Like, it took me a little while to kind of get on board.
I wasn't either, but this is the reaction I wanted to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get that. Have I told you about my wild turkey post for Thanksgiving this year?
This year?
I've been planning this for at least a year at this point. I'll tell you off air because I want it to be a surprise. Yeah.
This smells fucking good.
Wow.
The fact that out of all the things we've reviewed and how different they've been, the fact that this literally just puts itself out front is amazing.
I'm having the same reaction that I did with the 8-year Wilderness Trail. I got teary.
There's so much going on right now that I can't even it's hard to pinpoint what I'm getting. It's almost like an apple pie with an apple pie, but it's like buttercream icing, like it's like an apple cake, but vanilla and buttercream. Like, that's what hits me. That's what just comes. It's just like this green appley vanilla. I don't question anything about this. Buttercream and apple.
Dude. This is so inherently wild turkey, but also so uncharacteristically wild turkey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like
it falls into that category of this is everything that I know and love and expect from this distillery, but they have upped the ante for everything that we should anticipate from them in the limited edition space. I would go out on a limb and say that this honestly might be my favorite Master's Keep release. At least since the original 17-year, the decades, if not ever. This is an infinitely special whiskey.
This is wild. This is, I'm thinking of the Master's Keeps that I have, and I love them all.
I don't even think anything else compares to it.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think I can compare.
This is the one. This is Wild Turkey Masters Keep the one as opposed to one.
The one. I mean, okay, so I always get on Wild Turkey Rye this little bit of apple. But this is like fresh apples. But then it hits with that buttercream and vanilla to me is like, I can't think of anything that Wild Turkey that I've got buttercream.
No.
This is
$200. $200 is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
For one bottle.
It is.
But let me tell you, though, what went into the crafting of this bottle. Dude, it's worth it.
I would
buy one right now. Even if I couldn't afford it, I would buy one. That's not true. I got to pay electricity.
It's true. This is worth $200 and above. What would be your max price on this? Just for the listener, like somebody who's like, well, my store marked it up or something like that.
I would maybe go $100 over retail.
I was going to say I would not be mad dropping $300 for this.
Yeah, but even still, I mean that's a bit of a I struggle a little bit with that. All that being said, though,
this is fucking good.
$19. I'm serious.
I mean, say like 19.5.
Nose, palate, and finish. They are all 5 out of 20 or 5 out of 5s.
I was going to say everything is there, but price wise, it's still a pricey. Like when we talked about the 8-year Wilderness Trail, that was $90. Yeah. It was almost $10 a year, which we a lot of times would say. But I'm not mad at this price. But I think that if this was back to the original Masters Keep pricing.
No, I would much rather pay $125, $150 for this bottle.
It's hard to say $200 and above is a 5 out of 5 price. That's the only thing about this that I'm giving a negative to. The nose, the palate, the finish are amazing.
I feel like I am not doing it justice by just flat out saying that this is everything that I wanted a Masters Keep to be. But buddy, I tell you, I can't imagine anything more from a limited edition Wild Turkey product that would make me happier than this particular one. This is incredible. I need my own bottle.
Well, I'm sending you home with another sample for it, but like I will since I have mine, I will definitely be looking at other places to see if there was more. I don't know. I've not seen it around here. I just got a message saying, hey, we're getting this. If you want it, come get it.
I'm sorry. I don't even think that I'm doing enough to like express exactly what it is point by point that I'm getting with this or what I'm feeling with this. But at the same time, I feel like just by saying it scores a 19 out of 20 for me.
Yeah. And I did this one 19.5.
Yeah, so slightly higher than what I normally do. If this
price was a little lower, if this was the original Masters Keep price, I would probably give it a 20 out of 20. That being said, that's the only thing negative I have to say about this. If you see Masters Keep this year's Unforgotten, just get it. I mean, it's, oh my.
Now, I know that I have given one whiskey from this year a higher score. Only one.
Yeah.
Only one that has ever scored that score.
Yeah.
But this is a strong contender for best of the year.
If you take price out of the equation
and just focus on what it tastes like, just the experience of it. Golly, man.
Wow. Crafted with conviction.
Yeah, no kidding. And honesty. Go back into hibernation, Unforgotten. We'll never forget you.
No. I'm going to milk you for a long time, but that sounds really bad. I'm just going to enjoy you for a long time.
Yeah. Probably for the best. Do you need to go get your child?
I don't think so. She was trying to get me to come to the school and get her, and I was like, I'm not coming to school and get you because I'll get you for the bus stop. She's a diva. She's fine.
I'm not cutting any of that then.
Okay.
But it is almost, it's 3:13 right now. Do you need to go get her?
No, she doesn't. That's the thing. That I don't have to get her. When she said 3:15, I was like, you don't get home at 3:15? She was trying to get me to come to school and get her.
Oh.
She's like, I don't want to ride the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go down to the bus stop and get her, which is literally at the corner of the house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll cut some of that up.
You don't have to.
I might. You want to burp the baby?
I don't want any of this flavor to go away. You're not burping. That's not good at all. Babies are meant to be.
Yeah,
burped.
we're not doing that.
Yeah,
man, I did not wake up today thinking that I was going to have something that met my expectations in the way that this whiskey did.
So good.
Dang, dude. Sometimes you just
how are they going to live up to next year?
They're going to have to give us like a 25-year-old.
Perry Russell better be getting. They better start working.
You
on
better
it right
climb
now.
out. You better get out of them.
You better get out of those khakis.
Out of them khakis.
Yeah. Start working on that right now.
I'm really happy we saved that one for last.
Yes, I think
honestly,
everything was unique. Everything had something about it, but like this, as a once a year release from one of our favorite distilleries, this is it.
Yeah.
So
tips and bits.
Let's do it.
I don't have any high proof hot takes.
I don't either.
I'm pretty chill right now.
I'll save them. I had one, but I could go on for a while.
Yeah, let's wait.
Save it.
Let's wait until we're not constrained by time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I start? I know I already kind of talked a little bit about
go for it.
Some of mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said at the top of the episode, I've been listening to and just engaging more with the content that Red and Link put out. My goal, my tip and bit for myself, I guess, is to have them on the podcast in 23. I'm trying to pursue that as heartily as I can. But if anybody has any good avenues for that, please let me know. But I've been listening to a lot of and watching a lot of their podcasts, and they've got Good Mythical Morning, which is it's how I start every single one of my days.
I feel like it's something that even if you don't watch it on the regular, like you've heard about it.
Well, there's no reason for you to feel like you have to have watched every episode before because it's not like it's it's basically an internet morning talk show.
Right.
Right. Where they do funny, goofy, different things. And it's just this burst of positivity to kind of start your day.
Yeah.
And they're such genuinely happy and energetic and just full of life people that there's something about it too. And like, people have said for one, they've been doing it for 10 years.
I was going to say it's been around a while, right?
Yeah. And they just earlier this year crossed over 2,000 episodes.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that people have latched onto and they have an affinity for and everything. And it's just a good what's the way that I want to put this? It's a good, like, kind of isolated way to start your day. Start your week without having to be caught up in like political conversation or discourse or whatever. It's just, as they say on Ear Biscuits, their podcast, which is again what I've been listening to for a while. It's two best friends who have been lifelong best friends who talk about life for a long time.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And like, I look at their friendship and I get jealous of them. Not because like I want to have a friend that I can point to that I've been able to hang on to for that long. But like, I think about our relationship. And I think about like how much I wish that we could have like gone through so many stages of our life together.
Oh yeah, I always think about that.
Like earlier on.
Yeah.
Because like we talk to each other as much as, if not more than we do our partners, our wives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And there is such a significant part of our brains and our hearts that are linked up because of that. And it goes back to the way that Minnie is really scratching in that
Minnie
that litter box over
down.
There. But I said this on the 5-year episode that you and Swan came into the podcast at the exact right time. And so I can't be upset about the fact that you were there exactly when I needed you to be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's that soulmate feeling of like, I wish that we had met or connected a little bit sooner.
I get it.
Than we did.
Yeah, I get it.
Because now, and there is something about getting older and being more retrospective and introspective as well that gives you that feeling of, well, how much longer do I actually have with this person?
Yeah.
And it's not a way to like be morose or a way to be just dark. just generally dark about
there's so many
existence.
Things that just happen nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
Just, and I mean, it's something you got to think about.
And like, there is not an insignificant part of my brain that every now and then thinks about what would happen if you all of a sudden were gone.
Yeah.
And what that would mean for the future of Tim Bibb. And it's not that, I rest the laurels or expectations or energy for doing this podcast on your mortal existence. But it does give me pause, and I do tend to think, well, if that were to become the reality that I all of a sudden was thrown into, what would that mean for what I'm supposed to be doing with the show?
Yeah.
Not necessarily as like a sign, because I don't really believe in like omens or signs or whatever, but it just like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? How do I spin things?
Without you?
Hey man,
I want to know.
Shania Twain said it best. That is Shania, right?
I don't know. I just know it
feels
from
like Shania.
The Rock.
I don't know. Anyway.
The Rock movie.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
So
long hair. I totally messed up your amazing.
No,
speech.
it's fine. But I'm just saying, like,
I get it.
Yeah, like
I don't want to be doing anything else but this.
And here's the thing too, like, I'm not trying to set myself up for disaster or anything.
You just cursed me.
No, but on the flip side of that, like, I hope that there is, if anything were ever to happen to me, this is my living will right here.
Mark it down.
Mark it on episode 256 of this Bourbon
right
podcast. We've been recording for an hour and 43 minutes. I would hope that there is still a life of the show without me, and that you were able to, find some way to kind of continue it. But
I would.
And
Somehow.
it's not even in some form or function. But I like the synergy between us, the symbiosis between the two of us. Yeah, exactly. Like Venom.
Yeah.
Like we do, in this space at the very least, we cannot exist without each other.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope that there is a future, even if I'm not necessarily a part of it. For this show, for this space, for people to come to weekly, and
Tim Bip will live forever.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, somebody's always got to have their Bourbon podcast.
Yeah. So. But this is a very roundabout way of saying, if you are looking for ways to feel maybe not better about your life situation, but at least to have some kind of like self-help, like they are Rhett and Link are a very good example of how you can approach major life changes without having to feel like everything else in your life has also changed.
Yeah.
Because they've been through so much together.
Right.
And it again, like you and I have gotten to the point where, it feels like we have been lifelong best friends.
It does. But
I mean, it's been a year and a half since we started doing this on a weekly basis. But,
right.
I think it's an important part of our dynamic, an important part of our relationship, and in a broader spectrum, an important part of what we do with Timbip.
Yeah, and I think it's like when you get older, like it's not like when you grow up with a kid and they become your like childhood best friend. Like when you get older, it's almost like you instantly connect with people that, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to have that. Like it's almost like you can have one conversation or hang out one time and it's like, this guy's my friend.
Well, I don't remember who exactly said it, but there is a sense of like once you get out of college, or even really into college, or college years, that your age kind of stops mattering with the people that you become friends with.
Yeah, I always say like after like 23, 24, like everybody's like the same age.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Until they're like 60.
Yeah, until
and
they're
then
like 90 years old
as crap.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. That's not true at all. No, it's not true. We have. It's not true.
We're like 50 years old,
but I don't have those barriers of like I can't be friends with that person because they are older or younger than me.
Like we're friends with people that are way older than us. We're friends with other people that are younger than us.
Yeah.
Like it's just
now that being said, though, I don't think that I am fully removed from that dynamic of being like I still kind of see you as in some ways, even though like I am the de facto leader of all things Timbip, that I don't see you in some ways as an older brother. You know what I mean?
Way more mature than me, though. I think
that's my little brother is more mature than I am.
Yeah,
you know what I like? It's degrees. It's degrees of separation.
Certain stuff.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Though. Like it's at the core of the relationship. Like there is still kind of those predetermined dynamics and everything. I still feel that from time to time, but at the core of it, it doesn't matter that, you know, we were born 5 years apart, 6 years apart or whatever. I mean, it's not an age thing. It's an experience thing.
Exactly.
More than anything. So that's kind of where my head's been at, I guess, over the past week, over the past few days. But I highly encourage, especially if you have watched Rhett and Link's content since they've been internet tainers over the past decade. Their podcast is fascinating, and you really kind of start to get a sense of who these people are outside of the personas that they kind of put forth on the internet on their morning show every weekday.
Yeah.
But ear biscuits. That's my tips and bits.
Cool.
This week. Sorry, I went on for a really long time.
I'm here for it.
With that.
I'm here for it. Tips and bits. I honestly had two things and I just realized that they have the same name almost. It's weird.
That's a first, I think.
Well, one of my favorite bands, and you've listened to them, and they were at Louder Than Life, is Bayside.
Yeah,
they have a new 3-song EP out.
Are you about to recommend something from Saved by the Bell, too?
No.
I thought maybe it doesn't matter. Anyway, go ahead. The 3-song EP from Bayside.
We should bring back the dates with high school students auctions. Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
But Bayside has.
I was thinking Bayside High School because that was the high school in. Am I wrong or
no? They went to Bayside.
Okay. You had me questioning myself.
Did you want me to recommend Bayside? I want you all to go.
The high school?
Yeah, go to Bayside.
No, I thought that maybe you were recommending like
the Max, the restaurant.
The Saved by the Bell reboot or something, like in conjunction with Bayside. Sorry, I'm going to shut up now. Let you talk.
Bayside has a new EP out. There's 3 songs. It's called The Red, and all 3 songs are some of the best songs that Bayside's ever put out. Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 songs, great. All 3 of them are great. I also watched the new One Piece film, which is called One Piece Red.
Right. Yeah.
So Bayside's is The Red. One Piece is Red. One Piece Red is, and it's based around music. Like all the One Piece movies will have like a theme. Like one was about like gambling. One was about like being the strongest and all that stuff. What was that? One of my dogs come downstairs.
I don't know. I feel like somebody was about to slam a door or something.
Either way, this movie, whether you've watched all 1,035 episodes of One Piece or you just try to... I see you on that.
I've been looking at it this whole episode.
One Piece Red is great. It's based around a concert, and they like all these pirates and these bad guys come together at this concert, and they're all watching it, and then they fight, and then all this stuff. If you're an anime fan, One Piece Red is amazing. So that's what I have. Bayside, listen to Bayside, The Red on Spotify probably, and then watch One Piece. So One Piece is an anime about pirates that have powers.
It's a really, really
it's so
good show.
It's so good.
The manga is so fascinating too. I could go on about Shonen Jump.
Oh yeah,
manga for a long time. I actually had a friend. I think I might have told you this before. But I had a friend. We connected over anime and manga back when I was in middle school, and they actually gifted me a subscription to Shonen Jump back then. So I had like a whole year of Shonen Jump magazine, and I still have every single one of those issues. And I mean, they're like encyclopedia thick
because they
looking.
put so many different shows. Like there's like 10, 15, 20 different comics in one. So that's a whole nother conversation.
It's good stuff. All right.
Oh. We got any reviews or anything like that?
No, we don't have anything.
Okay,
like
so I think on our way out.
Oh, you knocked me over.
We should have the first Christmas tree cakes of the season together. Just fresh crack. Opening these.
I was just making sure that I was standing.
So if you want Christmas tree cakes and advice, you can sign up for patreon.com.
What's the advice portion of that?
Well, you know,
I'm not a therapist.
If you want advice on how to get Christmas tree cakes, I'm going to put that on the Patreon.
Okay, there we go.
So go to patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. And at $5, you get all the bonus stuff. Had so many good conversations this week. But you know what?
We had really, really good conversations this week.
Patreon members, they get it. But yeah, you can vote on stuff.
Oh, sorry. All of a sudden, there was Fred Minnick talking.
Yeah, find out about that on the Patreon.
On Cameo. I don't even really know how that happened. I didn't hit
anything. Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. If you want to send us an email, send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. We'll take requests on reviews or pairings, or if you want to send us something, send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want some merch, like Perry said, we got some new designs, bourbonshop.threadless.com. He's going to be putting out some holiday designs. If you want to get some Whiskey Mutant merch, you can go to whiskeymutant.myshopify.com. Use code WM25 for 25% off your order. I'm trying to get rid of the rest of my stuff so I can get new designs. If you want to leave a message on the Barrel Ring segment, 859-428-8253. Leave a voicemail. We'll play it. We'll reply to you. Easiest way to get on the show. If you want to follow the show on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, @MyBourbonPod. You can send a direct message through that stuff and whatever you want. If you want to follow Perry, it's PRitter1792. If you want to follow me, @Whiskey Mutant, you got some new TikToks and sharing some reels and everything from last holiday on how to do your turkey this year. But @Whiskey Mutant on Instagram. What? Did you just have a moment?
I had a couple moments.
Oh, Lord. Okay, let me get through this here. If you want to follow the show on YouTube, subscribe to the show. This is My Bourbon Podcast on YouTube. Perry goes live every Thursday night at 8. I try to join him about once a month. You can get this video version of the show on there. And then leave a 5-star review or leave a 1-star. We don't care. Reviews help. We'll read them. You can tell your friends about us. You can send them a letter. You can write them an email. You can send them a DM. Just say, listen to This is My Bourbon Podcast.
I'm ready for Christmas.
Now?
Yeah. Now I am very ready for the holidays.
Let me open this up.
Which is not a good sign because Lucy and I have started a diet.
Well, I'm getting you started early here.
Yeah.
I'm getting this out of the way. Oh,
it's so good.
Christmas tree cakes. Oh.
They're so different from every other Little Debbie.
Did you pair it with this?
I mean, I had a drink of it after I...
Did it go good to go?
It wasn't like it wasn't mismatched.
Oh, that is
but
so
it did.
good,
No, the whiskey itself is great. This Jack Daniel's barrel proof that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I hadn't got a chance to open it yet.
I opened it for you.
I'm glad you did. That's going to be what I drink tonight.
There you go.
But yeah, tell everybody about us. Do all the stuff. Don't make me repeat it. Let us know what you want us to do.
Yeah, if you want to see us do something specific, we talked about it at the top of the episode, but we're going to be doing more interviews soon, especially into 23. Oh. You've got a weird streak in your beard where there's no hair.
I know. It looks like
I've never noticed that before.
It looks like Moses parted the waters.
Kind of. A little bit. Anyway.
Yeah, that's why whenever I tried to grow up my beard long, it would get to a point to where it would curl this way. So I looked like this.
Interesting.
Yeah, it would curl different ways. Like, I don't know. Oh, we have a Facebook group. This is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group. That's a good way to post stuff for us to do.
Yeah.
Go on there. Answer some questions. We'll add you in. Unless you're a troll or a bot.
Brandon Innels just joined over there on the Facebook group too. Yeah. Our newest patron.
I saw him at this is crazy. This was at
Really?
Mm-hmm. This was at a barbecue food truck. And for some reason, they let me come to the back, and they were like, we want to show you how we cut our meat. And there was one other person back there. And I was like, who's this guy? I thought I was special. It's Brandon Innels. And I was like, dude, I still got to send you some chicken nuggets. And he's like, that's okay. Let's watch them cut some meat. So we watched a 75-year-old man cut meat in front of us.
Wow.
And he said, you know what? I'm going to sign up for the Patreon again.
Nice. Thank you, Brandon, for re-upping your...
He put a little bit more barbecue sauce on his pulled pork sandwich than what I would recommend. But that's just him. He likes it sloppy.
Doesn't this Jack remind you of smoked meats, though?
That's
especially on the nose. It smells like smoked bacon.
It smells like a smoky barbecue sauce.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Brandon, calm down on the barbecue sauce. A little bit more meat. Less sauce, more meat, Brandon.
More meat. We'll see you next week on another episode of This My Bourbon Podcast. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.
Oh, that's so good.